What's up guys, this is Sensei. Today's video, I'm going to show you how I pushed my spike to 1000 trophies in Solo Showdown. I'll be going over some tips and some tricks so you can push your spike in Solo Showdown as well. I know I had one person request this, and yeah, here it is. Anyways, let's just go over Spike's stats real quick, and we'll hop right into the replays. Alright, looking at Spike's stats, Spike has very low health, the second lowest amount of health in the game. However, Spike does have decent range, especially when we go over the star power. And Spike also does a lot of damage, can do like over 2000 damage per shot, and sometimes even if you get right into the grill of a tank or something, you can do like massive damage. And so yeah, especially with that buff, Spike does a lot of damage, and that's the main reason why Spike is good, because he can just completely like 3-shot almost every brawler in the game. Anyway, let's just go over the gadget and star power. Alright, for Spike's gadget, we have popping pincushion, and basically Spike shoots 3 waves of spikes from the center of his body, each doing 520 damage. This is useful for either getting boxes, melting the Robo, or also melting anyone that gets in close range with you. Not really that important, so I wouldn't say you need this to push Spike, but it's definitely a help. But the star powers are very important for Spike, so let's go over that right now. Alright, and the star power that I used is going to be curveball, and this basically have Spike's little shots at the end of his ball that basically goes in a curving motion, and this is basically going to give Spike extra range and also make it easier for Spike to hit shots. Now this isn't necessarily better than the other star power, and that's why I'm going to mention that, but yeah, basically against longer range opponents, against B, against Crow, against Max, against brawlers like that, you're going to want to be using curveball. However, fertilize does have its uses, and we'll go over that right now. Alright, and for Spike's first star power, we have fertilize, and this basically, whenever Spike uses his super, it will heal Spike for 800 health per second if he's in the super. And this star power is also very good because it can help you in close range combat a lot more, and if you're getting pinched or something, you can use that to heal up. So yeah, so what I would recommend is if you're playing Spike on a more open, long-range map, use Curveball. If you're playing Spike on a more close-range map with a lot of tanks, you're going to want to use Fertilize. But both these star powers are good. I would say it's 50-50. It really depends on the maps and the matchups that you're facing. So anyway, let's just go over the map, and we'll head right into the replay. Alright, the first map that I pushed Spike on, starting out 900 plus, is going to be 2000 Lakes. And the second map that I pushed Spike on, which I finished him on, is going to be Scorched Stone. Spike is pretty much good all across the board, so it doesn't really matter where you push him. Let's hop into the first replay. Alright, now before we start, just have a little cool clip here. As you can see, the boss starts going on to us. That's my mistake. So we were able to get it down with our insane DPS with Spike, but we are getting pinched by this B, so I shoot 2 quick curveballs, get the B very low. We're at 376 health. Able to get the honeycomb, and I shoot the super to finish off. And now we have another Spike coming after us, and able to 2-shot this Spike just in time to get the second place. So I thought it was a very cool clip there. But anyways, let's hop into the first replay. Now this is gonna be on 2000 Lakes. This is gonna be the only replay on 2000 Lakes. Everything else is going to be on Scorched Stone. But as you can see, we have Sandy over there. Get these boxes real quick. We have a Leon. Now Leon can be a pretty good counter to Spike, so you just want to be careful of that. But as you can see, if you keep your range and use the curveball, Leon shouldn't really be that bad. It's only when Leon gets super that he's a threat. So, yeah, we're able to get this Leon down, just doing that massive damage to Spike, able to take him down. And now we have 3 cubes. We're looking good here. Just to know about Spike in boxes. Spike normally 3-shots boxes if you do it good, but however, if you do it perfectly, you can 2-shot boxes. But most of the time, it's going to be a 3-shot, and sometimes if a box is in the corner, sometimes you'll get only 2 spikes on it, but for the most part, it should be a 3-shot. And if you're lucky, if you hit it perfectly in the middle, it should be a 2-shot. Right now, we have 4 cubes. We just took out that penny over there, chilling in the bush. And we have a Carl and a Nita spinning and a Crow. So I'm just chilling, but I think eventually I'm going to come out and spin with them, because it's not really worth it to try to take all 3 of them, or yeah, all 3 of them at once. Not really the best play for me, especially since they have energy drink. Crow has an energy drink. It would just be suicide for me to do that. So yeah, make my way out of the bush here and start spinning with them, and that they start spinning with me as well. Alright, so I'm allied with them over there. I start checking mid, and there's a dynamite over there. Now dynamites are just annoying just because of that gadget. If dynamite lands gadget on you, you're dead. it doesn't matter. You're just dead. But normally Dynamite isn't really that. Just keep your range and dodge. You should be fine against a Dynamite. We got a Crow over there. Crow trying to charge on in. Dynamite jumping over there. And as you can see, why curveball is pretty good is because we can just keep shooting in the direction of the Crow, and the Crow can't come in towards us. Because if he does, he's going to take a big fat, a lot of damage to the face. And as you can see, boom, just gets completely annihilated. And that's why Spike can be very good. And now we just have this Nita over here, and we're just using the energy drink plus Spike's damage to just take out the B. Let's head into the next replay. Alright, heading into the second replay here. This is going to be on Scorched Stone now. And this map does have the robot modifier, and with the robot, Spike is one of the best brawlers for actually taking out the robot. I wouldn't recommend going going for a robot until you have at least maybe like 3 or 4 power cubes, just because Spike does not have a lot of HP, so you just keep that in mind. But once you have 3 or 4 power cubes, all you need to do is when the robot spawns, you just literally just go right into the middle of it, use your gadget and your attacks as well just to deal massive damage, and you can literally melt the robot. I would recommend, if you don't have a lot of power cubes, to just let the robot follow you and just keep shooting at it, chip it down to maybe about half health if you don't have a lot of power cubes, and then when it's about like 10k health or something like that, you could just go right into the middle of it and just do massive damage, take it out. Right now we're pinching this Sandy over here with the Gale. Don't really want to use my super, kind of want to save it, and I know we can take care of the Sandy without needing to use a super, so yeah, okay, and the Sandy goes down, then I spin with the Gale over there. Okay, we have another Sandy over there. We have another this map got taken over by Sandy, something I never thought I would ever say in a solo showdown game, but 3 Sandys in this game apparently. And now we got a bot over there. I don't want it. I only have 1 power cube, so it's not really worth it. And then we have a BB over there with speed star power. Definitely not the star power you want to be using with BB. But right now, we're just chilling in the bottom left corner, checking these bushes to see if anyone's in there. No. Alright, so I see that the mid is pretty open. And I try to find out. Now I do see that the Sandy super's over there, and that means that Sandy could potentially go into the bush. Now we're attacking the Sandy with the boss after her, and I believe the Sandy is going to get down. And now I see a beautiful opportunity for me, and we take care of that Sandy who is battling with the BB, and now it's just Showdown. And I know that the Sandy's coming because of the bot, and we're able to take the Sandy out. Let's head into the next replay. Alright, heading into the next replay here. Let's just talk about matchups real quick. So Spike 1v1s, I would say try to avoid just because they're so tricky, and if you get hit by a Spike ball, Spike can 2-shot you. If you get hit directly, Spike can 2-shot you. So I would just stay away from Spike 1v1s. Kind of similar to the Rico, if you watch my Rico video, just because these brawlers they do so much damage but have so little health. It's literally like you can literally 2-shot each other, which is it's just such a sus thing. Now this is actually a really close matchup here. Alright, so as you can see, we get the Crow very low, but the Crow also got us very low, and so now we're just sitting behind this cactus, sitting behind our brethren over there, healing up. And I was very close, but luckily we were able to heal up. And now we have the Crow right where we want him. He walks right into my shot, gets completely one-shotted, and of course you got to spin after that close encounter. You got to spin on that. So now we have 2 power cubes. There's a Spike over there. But yeah, Spike, as I said, avoid. I wouldn't say that Spike 1v1s is not something you should really go for. As I said, Leon with Super, I had 2 games where I was just minding my own business, and then Leon with Super came out of nowhere and gave me like 7th. And there's really nothing you can do about that. The best way you can counter a Leon is, first of all, you got to know if the Leon's there, right? Because both of the times I didn't even know there's a Leon, and he just came out of nowhere. But if you're able to see that a Leon's there and that he has Super, you want to hide into a bush so he doesn't see you go in, so that way he has no idea to even go after you. But if he does know where you are and you have a good feeling that he's coming after you, you can kind of shoot in the direction you think he's going to go. And another tip is to actually hide around a wall. And the reason why you do this is because if the Leon's going to come after you, he's going to have to go around that wall. And when he goes around that wall, you can actually see if he's coming, and it's going to give you a few extra time to react to that. So if you think a Leon's coming, make sure to hug a wall. Very, very, very good for you. Okay, so right now we're taking care of that spike. Tanks are a very, very, very good matchup for Spike. As you can see, we're taking advantage of their feud over there to get the dub. But yeah, we'll talk about matchups more in the next replay. All right, as I said before, tanks are a very, very good matchup for Spike. Yeah, so any tank, you could just bully them as Spike. Spike is one of the best tank counters in the game, and yeah, that should be easy stuff for you there. Against brawlers like Rosa, against brawlers like Frank, you can even just go close range against them, use your gadget, and you can melt them that way. It is kind of risky, and it's better to do that if you have fertilize. It can be a lot riskier if you have curveball, but that's something you can do. Not against shotgunners though, because they'll just completely melt you. But against tanks that don't do a lot of damage quickly, you can also just beat them in close range as well. Spike is actually a pretty decent counter to Max. So you know, Max as the number 2 brawler in Solo Showdown, Max is very OP in the meta, but actually Spike is one of the good counters to Max. So that's also something you can look forward to. Also, Spike is a very good peek shooter, which means shooting around walls. Spike is very good, so pretty much against any matchup, really. Peek shooting is going to definitely favor you. Yeah, I mean, honestly, Spike is pretty good at most matchups, but Spike does not have a lot of health, so you really, unless you have fertilize, you really don't want to be going close range against a lot of brawlers, and Spike can get really, and you know, the reason why Spike isn't like at the top of Solo Showdown is because of that health, and that can really, Spike can get pinched really easily, and if you take damage, like a lot of damage, you could be dropped like half health in an instant like that. So that is probably the only bad thing about Spike, is that Spike just does not have a lot of health, and that can really come to bite Spike a lot, just because it's, as you can see, like by that Duro, if you get ambushed, you really don't have a way of dealing with that. Against Mortis, if a Mortis tries to come after you, all you gotta do is use your gadget and you will absolutely melt him. So yeah, before the gadget, Mortis used to counter Spike, but with that gadget, Mortis is not gonna be able to do anything to you unless you don't react in time, of course. But yeah, taking out this Pam over there, and yeah, I mean, against the longer range options, you can keep your distance. And against the more closer range, you can actually go in, and yeah, let's head into the next replay. Alright, heading into our final replay, I believe, yes. And as I've been doing recently, I recorded this live, so we're getting this box over there. We got a Mortis over here, and I think the Mortis is going to come after us, so you can see how we deal with the Mortis. Right now, we're just keeping our distance. I think the Mortis goes in, and as you can see, boom, use your gadget, completely melt the Mortis, and that's kind of how you want to deal with that. Now, I don't think we got a bot in this game, but I already kind of explained what to do. Brock over there, checking the bushes there. Make sure you check your bushes, guys. Never forget to do that. Brock camping there. We're able to take the Brock out. So, yeah, I did kind of mention, I don't think we have a replay here, but, yeah. As far as this map going mid, sometimes I did go mid, but it can be very risky to go mid, so just keep that in mind. But, yes, it can work sometimes. Leon coming over there. I think that is a pet. Yeah, that's a pet. BB with 7 over there. Don't want to be near that. We got a tick. Very interesting. Yeah, take him out real quick. Primo, as you know, I counter Primo pretty well. Yeah, so we're just bullying the Primo, just being annoying and chasing him down. Yeah, okay. As far as Spike's aiming, I didn't think I mentioned that. Yeah, Spike, when it comes to up and down, the shot will split to left or right. Maybe that doesn't really make that much sense. But yeah, so if you're shooting like vertically, then the Spike will protrude horizontally, if that makes any sense. And yeah, when you're shooting horizontally, then the spikes will go diagonally. So when you're aiming, try to keep that in mind. It's kind of like Surge in a way. Except Surge does way more damage. That's why he was broken when his shot split off. So right now we already locked it because I was at 999. So I was just seeing if we could take down this BB, but this BB goes after us, so that's a big rip for us. but it doesn't really matter since we get the 1k anyway. And yeah, so yeah, honestly, this wasn't the easiest push, and I'll show you that when I show you the battle log. But yeah, I mean, Spike is pretty decent. But yeah, that health really holds Spike back, because yeah, of course Leon's obviously, but also if people start getting it up on you, as you can see, 68%, which is, it's still a good win rate, but not as good as like my Jackie push. So definitely Spike is more push, and yeah, like I mentioned, that health really does hold Spike back, just because you can get pinched really easily, and if you get pinched, it really only takes a few hits to get taken out. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Tomorrow I also have a Carl video, which is going to be coming out. I pushed them back to back, so I think that was pretty cool. Yeah, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and peace.